All right, so if you're not at home, whether it's, commute to work and it gets disrupted by car breaks down, monsoon, you're out enjoying nature, and you want to be prepared for any sort of disaster. So what we generally teach, like ground operation people, if you're in a convoy, we have kind of layered effects. So if our convoy gets hit and we need to get away from the area, I have, starting off, is what's on my person. So what do I have in my pockets? What do I have like clipped to my belt? Things of that nature. That's gonna be layer number one. Layer number two would be like load-bearing equipment, so body armor, chest rig, things of that nature. That's our second layer. And then the last layer would be a ruck. So even if you can't get to your backpack, and you have to get out of the area, you still have some survival gear on you. We can take the same philosophy and kind of translate it to, sports, hiking, or just having your car prepared. So what do I have on myself at all times? What do I have in like a small bag that I can grab or just leave in the vehicle? And then what's a longer thing if there is, a longer term disaster that kind of strikes. So starting off with that, just kind of talk about some different items that I carry when I'm out teaching, when I'm out doing operations, and then we'll talk about, rucksacks that can be kind of like dedicated to something has gone wrong, and I, have some items here. So starting off, like we talked about with those 5 basic needs, I want to be able to, again, identify what's probably going to kill me the quickest. What are my threats in the area? So Southern Nevada, desert environment. So we have lack of water and we have sufficient sunlight. So I want to have water, have ways to collect water and store water, and then I want to have ways to shade myself from the sun and create shelter. We're not worried about, making a shelter that's going to survive a snowstorm. We want to avoid the heat, avoid the sun. So some things that we can use for those are going to be just throwing in this little admin kit I have here. So some stuff we might want to have: space blanket, super versatile item. So this is a Mylar one with an orange shading. They also come in olive drab. That's more for evasion. I like the orange because this can also be a signal. I can use this as shade. I can also use this as a just wrapped around my body to keep myself warm. So it's good for keeping me cool and keeping me warm. Super cheap, very effective. If you don't have something like this, something else that you could have is going to be a trash bag. So like take a 3 mil 55-gallon contractor trash bag, like the nice ones you get at a Home Depot or a Lowe's, and you can throw that into a kit. They're great to just store in like a water bladder. So like thinking your water bladder cell, just slide it down in there. Or for those of you that will be potentially going outside the wire, if you're wearing body armor, just slide it up inside there. Forget about it, and it's there if you ever need it. We can then slice this up, we can carry water with it, we can protect ourselves, we can make shelter out of it, and it's a very simple, very versatile item. Some other things we may want to have is our signaling devices. So some ways to signal people, whether this is, I'm lost out in the woods, whatever the case may be. So awesome daytime signal is going to be just a signal mirror. So this one has a fireball indicator on it. It's great anytime there's sun. We can use this mirror. They can travel 50, 60 miles if you have the right vantage point. Very simple to use. You can also just find something shiny to use as a signal mirror. Also thinking some kind of nighttime signal. Down on the bottom here I have a Chem Stick with some cord wrapped around it. So this one's pre-made. It's a yellow Chem Stick. And basically what I can do is just, I take this cord off, crack the Chem Stick, and then spin it around in a circle like this, and it's a very distinct signaling device, super cheap, it's very effective, and both of these take up very little room. Some other things I may want to have on my person is a cutting tool. So I got a multi-tool right here. Versatile, I can repair my gear with it. I can slice things with it that I need to. It's got a saw as well, so if I need to take larger pieces of wood, that's an option. Moving on from that wood, got potentially need to make a fire. So I like ferro rods. They're highly effective. I can dunk this in the water and it's still immediately good to make fire with. Simple striker, just use the back of my saw to actually strike to make sparks. If you're not super experienced making fire, something else that might be highly effective is just grab a Bic lighter and throw it in your pocket. Can't go wrong. It may get wet, but as long as we keep this thing dry, we got fire if we need it. Some other things we may want to take is water purification tablets. So I've got the Catadin ones, 1 per quart is typically how they go, but obviously read the instructions on yours. Very simple to just throw in there, and now I have 10 of them, 10 more quarts of purified water.